Hello everyone, Melanie here with CGL Recruiting, and today we're going to be talking about the 8 worst tips that I have heard for job seekers. And I'm also going to tell you what you should consider doing instead. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please consider doing that now. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Melanie Woods at LinkedIn for CGL Recruiting, the company name. And if you feel like this information is helpful, give me that thumbs up in the end. Okay, let's dig right into the 8 worst job seeker tips that I've heard. Okay, there are a lot of people giving you job and career advice, and you need to make the choices that are best for you and work for you. But there is some information that is being given out there that is just flat out wrong and will hurt your job search and hurt your, chances of getting that next job. So these ones keep coming up continuously, so I want to cover them in a video for you so you can avoid them and we can talk about what to do instead. So I have covered this one on other of our videos, especially our 2020 resume format video of how to get past the applicant tracking systems. And yet, there are still so many people who come to me saying, I was told to pull my resume down to 1 page. The short answer is no, don't do it. All of the systems electronically require more information about you. If you truncate your resume, if you pull it down to 1 page, you are going to fall out of the search. And when you fall out of the search, you're not getting the job. Let's move on. Now, you may have heard me talk about how you can best interface with recruiters, and we even have a video that covers that. I do need to talk to you a little bit about what's happened in recruiting with COVID-19. There are some reports and news things that I'm seeing saying that it's going to take out about 90% of recruiting firms. And that on its own should be enough of a reason for you never to ever want to go with one recruiter, because you may be thinking that person is helping you find a job, and the reality is they may not be in business tomorrow. It is tough times for recruiters for certain. But there's more reasons than that why you should never go with one recruiter. Every recruiter has certain clients that they deal with day in and day out, and they've built a relationship with them. And they may get jobs that are confidential off the, normal job posting sites that you will never get to see if that recruiter doesn't have the opportunity to get to your information on a system like LinkedIn, or where you applied to a job posting, or if you've reached out to that recruiter. So I highly recommend you do reach out to as many recruiters as you possibly can. And anyone that comes back to you and says, you don't need to talk with any other recruiters, I will be the one to find you a job, I say run the other way, because that is not in your best interest. They are trying to think, oh, well, this is a great candidate, I'm going to be the only one to place them. No, don't do that. That is not in your best interest. You go for every port in a storm. You go with every recruiter that you can find. So I know you may have a career path that's lined out for yourself, and you may be thinking, I'm going to move from this job to this job to this job, and have it really analytically laid out. And I applaud you for having an actual career plan for yourself and a career path. But if you are choosing to go in only one direction, you may be limiting yourself. I don't recommend when people are told, oh, no, the only next role you have to go is go for this one. Or you should only be looking in mechanical engineering because you're a mechanical engineer. The world is broad and diverse, and you may find that if you look a little broader in the positions that you're applying for and the companies that you're looking at, there may be roles and career paths out there that you never even knew existed. And so they may actually get you to where you're going to want to be faster. And this is even more important when we're in an economy like we are in 2020, where the job market is the toughest it has ever been for job seekers, ever. And you actually have to really, really work at looking at any job that's available out there. If you are limiting yourself too small and only looking in a very, very small path, you can choose to do that, but you need to know that it's going to extend out your job search, and you may be passing up roles that would actually be better for your career than the ones you're even thinking about targeting. Okay, I saw a post the other day on this one, and I'm still amazed that people think that this is okay. And this is apply for all open jobs that are out there. Job seekers, you can't do that. You need to be applying only for jobs that you're about a 75% match for or better. Now, 75% still gives you tons of room to pivot to jobs that are a little bit outside. But if you go to a website and you apply to every position that company has open, whether you meet any of the qualifications or not, you are going to get tagged sooner or later by that company or the recruiters in there as somebody that they're going to stop looking at. And then when that happens, then the great role that you're a perfect fit for, you're not even going to get considered for. So you need to show your judgment that it is sound in this process and only be applying for ones that are 75% of a match or greater to your skills. Anybody who's giving you advice, telling you, nope, you need to apply for every job every company has available, is doing you a disservice. Please don't do it. So let's talk for a minute about job titles, because I have had candidates coming to me saying, well, I was told by my career coach not to ever take a job that's a lesser title. Titles are not something that are the same in every single company. And you may have a director title in one company that is actually a VP level in another. Or you may have a VP level in one company that is only a manager in another. And companies get to decide how they use job titles. So if you think, I've made it to the role of director and I don't want to move backwards and not be a director anymore, or I've made it to, VP and I don't want to move backwards, I think you really need to stop and think about that advice that you're being given. Because there may be a director role that has a budget of 20 million in a much larger company that is more responsibility, maybe more salary, bigger team than what you had as a VP in a much smaller company. The other thing about titles is titles are cheap. And so some companies choose to give out really high titles because they know it's something that will attract people. And I don't think that you should ever look at just job title as what is going to make you happy in a position, what is going to help your career to move forward. So don't look at just title. It's okay for it to be one data point in your decision, but it's not everything. So if someone tells you that base salary is all that matters, it does not. You need to look beyond base salary when you are looking for a job. Now let's talk about what is considered base salary as opposed to what is considered total compensation. So base salary is what you're going to see every week on your paycheck. It is just the salary that they are offering you. Total compensation is your benefits that are offered, your vacation that is offered. Are you on any kind of bonus program where you're getting an annual bonus, a quarterly profit sharing program? Are you getting any kind of equity? Are you getting, phantom stocks? Are you getting some other type of long-term incentive that you need to be considering when you're looking at a job? Is base salary an important factor? Well, yes, don't get me wrong. It is an important factor. But anybody who's telling you just look at the base salary as to whether or not you accept a role, it's not the best advice for you. You need to, one, make sure, is this a role that you're going to be happy in? If I pay you $100,000 a year, but you hate the job day in and day out, and you're having to travel 350 out of 365 days a year, are you going to be happy in that, even though you're getting that salary? Are you going to be getting a position that's going to help you longer term with your career? And what if this position that you're being offered doesn't include benefits? Are you willing to either go without or have to pay those on your own? And they are expensive in the US. So there are many more factors besides that base salary. So don't make it your only decision point when you're looking at a job. So there is lots of drama right now on LinkedIn about LinkedIn released this new green banner, which is their hashtag open to work banner, that it automatically puts around job seekers' profile pictures when they are turn on that open to new opportunities setting. And there are lots of people giving their opinion on it, and I have seen such bad advice given to individuals of saying, don't put that up there. People will not contact you because they'll know you're looking for a job. That is absolutely crazy in my mind and is completely not based on facts. You should be telling people you are looking for a job. The best way to find a job always has been, always will be, is through someone you know. And if people don't know that you're looking, they can't help you. The other thing is when people are giving you advice like that, any type of advice even, ask them how they're basing their advice. And if they're saying, oh yeah, I've seen it, don't buy it, don't go for it. A lot of career coaches are giving people advice saying, do not turn this on your profile. And what people don't realize is that then drops you out of searches that recruiters and companies do because LinkedIn has a special search for that. I was on a call just yesterday where I was presenting to a group and I showed them how this works, and it dropped out 90% of the applicants strictly because they didn't have that setting on. Do not think that you have to hide being a job seeker. Since when is that a bad thing? If you are getting, people doing this when you're telling them that you're a job seeker, maybe it's your approach and you're pushing too hard, as opposed to just letting individuals know that you are a job seeker. So the last one I want to cover with you is people are getting advice, just take any job, take anything you can. And this is not normal times, right? I know that 2020 and the job seeking market is rough, and it is just crazy difficult for all of you as job seekers. And there is such a thing called what we term as a survival job. And you may need to take a job, working at your local grocery store, at, Amazon delivery services, whatever you need to do in order to put food on the table for your family. And you should feel comfortable doing that. It's not anything that you should feel bad about. But when we're looking about when you have a job that is being offered to you, if you have enough savings set aside and you don't have this pressure of having to put food on your table, should you just accept anything? No, you should not. You still need to look at this position with a critical eye. Is the position something that you can commit to? Is the position something that you can be successful in? And if it's not, like for example, we talked earlier about if they want you to travel 350 days out of a year and you are the primary caregiver for your children, you may not be able to do that. So it may not be something that you can commit to. And the other thing is, you are worthy and you have great skills and experience. And during this job search process, you sometimes can feel like you lost that and you just have to take whatever you can get. Don't lose sight of what is amazing about you, and don't lose sight that you are worthy and you deserve a great job. So if the job is something that you can't commit to and you're gonna have to quit 2 weeks later, I would say it is better to continue your job search than to take something that you're not going to be successful at. Hang in there, job seekers. When you are taking advice from all these different career coaches that are out there, check them out. Look at their background. Ask if they have anybody else that you can talk with that's used them. Look at on LinkedIn where you can see who's recommended them. You need to take the time to do your research. If they don't have a good career history on LinkedIn, I don't know that you should be using them. Or if it's somebody who just jumped into this, oh, well, I can do a resume. Let me do people's resumes. Or I can tell people how to, do their career. And they don't have any kind of basis in doing anything like this or a successful career history, then you need to question whether or not that's the right coach for you. I do recommend you have tons of mentors in your life. I've been very fortunate. I've had great ones my entire career, and I would not be where I am today without all of them, and I'm very grateful for them. You need mentors too. So there's nothing wrong with reaching out to people. Just make sure you're getting a balanced look. And if there's somebody that's trying to tell you do this or don't do this on your career, take it with a grain of salt and decide if that's somebody that you really should be changing everything for and taking that advice. All right, job seekers, we're going to keep releasing videos until everybody gets back to work. The right job is out there for you. Hang in there, and I will see you next time.